Jin-Gitaxias. The Great Synthesis. Jin-Gitaxias is the blue-aligned Phyrexian praetor of the Progress Engine, defined by ruthless experimentation and the pursuit of perfection through engineered completion. His doctrine, the Great Synthesis, frames perfection as an ongoing process of refinement, pursued in vast laboratories and research networks under his authority. The front card face is a resilient threat that taxes targeting with ward, and rewards you for casting larger non-creature spells by increasing your card flow. Once your hand is sufficiently stocked, it can transform into a Saga that rapidly refills your hand, disrupts opposing creature boards, and culminates in a turn where you may deploy many spells without paying their mana costs before reverting. A control and cantrips build around Jin-Gitaxias seeks to prolong the game with interaction, while using frequent low-cost card selection to assemble answers and maintain the hand size needed to transform reliably. After transforming, the Saga's chapters convert accumulated resources into decisive advantage. First by amplifying your hand, then by resetting non-Phyrexian creature pressure, and finally by enabling a concentrated burst turn that often closes the game. Combo ideas for Jin-Gitaxias decks. Combo number 1. Hullbreaker Horror, plus Sol Ring, plus Lotus Petal. Required conditions: 1. Hullbreaker Horror is on your battlefield. 2. Sol Ring is on your battlefield. 3. Lotus Petal is in your hand. Activating the combo: 1. Activate Sol Ring, then tap it, adding to colorless mana to your mana pool. 2. Cast Lotus Petal. 3. Hullbreaker Horror triggers, then return Sol Ring from the battlefield to your hand. 4. Cast Sol Ring. 5. Hullbreaker Horror triggers again, then return Lotus Petal, this time from the battlefield to your hand. 6. Repeat. Combo results: 1. Infinite colorless mana. 2. Infinite storm count. Combo number 2. Psychosis Crawler, plus Enter the Infinite. Required conditions: 1. Psychosis Crawler is on your battlefield. 2. Enter the Infinite is in your hand. 3. You have enough mana to cast Enter the Infinite. Activating the combo: 1. Cast Enter the Infinite, causing you to draw your library, and then put a card back on top of it. 2. Psychosis Crawler triggers for each card drawn, causing each opponent to lose that much life. Combo result: critical damage to each opponent. Combo number 3. Isochron Scepter, plus Dramatic Reversal. Required conditions: 1. Isochron Scepter is on your battlefield. 2. Dramatic Reversal is imprinted by Isochron Scepter. 3. Non-land permanents you control can tap to produce at least 3 generic mana. Activating the combo: 1. Activate all mana-producing non-land permanents you control, then tap them, adding at least 3 generic mana to your mana pool. 2. Activate Isochron Scepter, and tap it, then cast an imprinted copy of Dramatic Reversal, without paying its mana cost. 3. Resolve the copy of Dramatic Reversal, then untap all non-land permanents you control, including Isochron Scepter. 4. Repeat. Combo results: 1. Infinite mana that non-land permanents you control can produce. 2. Infinite storm count. 3. Infinite magecraft triggers. Combo number 4. High Tide, plus Archeomancer, plus Snap. Required conditions: 1. High Tide is in your hand. 2. Archeomancer is in your hand. 3. Snap is in your hand. 4. You control at least 4 untapped islands. 5. You have enough mana to cast High Tide. Activating the combo: 1. Cast High Tide, causing islands to add an additional blue mana this turn. 2. Activate 2 islands, then tap them, adding 4 blue mana to your mana pool. 3. Cast Archeomancer. 4. Archeomancer ETB ability triggers, then return High Tide from your graveyard to your hand. 5. Activate another island, then tap it, adding 2 blue mana to your mana pool. 6. Cast High Tide again, causing islands to add another additional blue mana this turn. 7. Activate an island again, then tap it, adding 3 blue mana to your mana pool. 8. Cast Snap, then return Archeomancer from the battlefield to your hand and tap 2 islands. 9. Activate that 2 islands, then tap them, adding 6 blue mana to your mana pool. 10. Cast Archeomancer again. 11. Archeomancer ETB ability triggers, then return Snap from your graveyard to your hand. 12. Repeat from step 8. Combo results. 1. Infinite ETB triggers. 2. Infinite LTB triggers. 3. Infinite storm count. Combo number 5. The Reality Chip, plus Etherium Sculptor, plus Sensei's Divining Top. Required conditions. 1. The Reality Chip is on your battlefield. 2. Etherium Sculptor is on your battlefield. 3. Sensei's Divining Top is on your battlefield. 4. The Reality Chip is attached to a creature you control. Activating the combo. 1. Activate Sensei's Divining Top, then tap it, causing you to draw a card and put Sensei's Divining Top on top of your library. 2. Using the Reality Chip and Etherium Sculptor abilities, cast Sensei's Divining Top from the top of your library by paying 0 mana. 3. Repeat. Combo results. 1. Draw your entire library. 2. Near infinite storm count.
Hi Commander, if you are new here, welcome to our channel. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click that bell icon to get notified every time we post a new video. Enjoy!
Non-game changer spells that are commonly found in Jin-Gitaxias decks. Tezzeret's Gambit. Hand growth. Tezzeret's Gambit advances a control cantrip plan by drawing 2 cards, which helps maintain resources, find interaction, and move more reliably toward the 7-card hand needed to transform Jin-Gitaxias. Saga progress. After Jin-Gitaxias becomes the Great Synthesis, Proliferate can add an extra lore counter, allowing the saga to reach its powerful later chapters more quickly. Mana efficiency. The Phyrexian mana option lets the deck cast Gambit with greater flexibility, preserving blue mana for counterspells or other instant speed control tools, while still developing hand advantage. Jin-Gitaxias, Progress Tyrant. Spell duplication. Jin-Gitaxias Progress Tyrant enhances a control land cantrip strategy by copying your first artifact, instant, or sorcery spell each turn, allowing your draw, filtering, or removal effects to generate greater value. Control Shield. Its ability to counter the first artifact, instant, or sorcery spell an opponent casts each turn strengthens the deck's defensive structure, helping preserve tempo and creates a safer environment for establishing the Great Synthesis. Finisher Pressure. When the Great Synthesis reaches its final chapter, Progress Tyrant increases the impact of that explosive turn by copying your first qualifying spell, giving the deck a more threatening and efficient closing sequence. Experimental Augury. Card selection. Experimental Augury supports the control cantrip plan by providing efficient instant speed card selection, helping the deck find answers, smooth draws, and maintain the resource flow needed to reach Jin-Gitaxias' transform requirement. Saga advancement. After Jin-Gitaxias transforms into the Great Synthesis, Experimental Augury's Proliferate effect can add an extra lore counter, allowing the saga to reach its disruptive and game-ending chapters more quickly. Reactive efficiency. Because it is an instant, Experimental Augury fits naturally into a reactive control structure by allowing mana to remain open for interaction. Jin-Gitaxias, Core Augur. Hand expansion. Core Augur dramatically enlarges your hand at the end of your turn, which directly supports your commander by making the transform requirement of 7 or more cards in hand trivial to satisfy. Control Denial. By collapsing opposing maximum hand sizes, Core Augur pressures opponents by forcing them to lose the cards they intended to preserve, complementing a control cantrip shell by widening the resource gap while your own deck continues to accumulate cards. Burst Setup. Core Augur accelerates your deck's plan by placing a large quantity of spells into your hand at once, giving the saga's last chapter a more explosive payoff, and allowing the deck to convert stored resources into a decisive finishing turn. Flux Channeler. Saga Acceleration. Flux Channeler turns each non-creature spell into additional lore counter progress once Jin-Gitaxias has transformed into the Great Synthesis, allowing the Saga to reach its disruptive second chapter and explosive third chapter more quickly than normal. Cantrip Conversion. The deck already aims to cast many non-creature spells for card flow and board control, and Flux Channeler converts that natural spell volume into extra proliferate value without changing the deck's core plan. Pressure Timing. Because Flux Channeler's proliferate trigger resolves before the spell that caused it, the deck can advance counters while still executing its intended draw, bounce, or interaction spell, strengthening a reactive game plan by preserving control posture. Psychosis Crawler. Draw Punisher. Psychosis Crawler converts the deck's cantrip-heavy card flow into direct life loss for opponents, allowing routine draw spells and Jin-Gitaxias' card advantage engine to pressure life totals while you maintain control. Hand Scaling. Because Psychosis Crawler's size is tied to your hand, it naturally becomes a major battlefield threat in a strategy that prioritizes cantrips, hand sculpting, and the transform requirement of 7 or more cards in hand, creating a distinct secondary win condition. Chapter Burst. The Saga side's first chapter can dramatically increase your hand size, and its final chapter allows you to deploy many spells from that stocked hand, reinforcing both Psychosis Crawler's damage output and its battlefield scale. Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. Win Conversion. Jace transforms the deck's extreme draw output from the Great Synthesis into a direct alternate victory condition once the library becomes empty. Draw Support. Jace's +1 ability advances the control and cantrip plan by providing steady card access, while helping maintain the hand development needed for Jin-Gitaxias to transform. Endgame Safety. Jace protects the deck from losing to self-decking during prolonged draw-heavy turns, which is especially relevant after the Saga's large card advantage chapters. Reject Imperfection. Reactive Value. Reject Imperfection supports the control plan by answering opposing spells, while still contributing incremental value when it counters cheaper threats. Saga Growth. Its proliferate clause can add an extra lore counter to the Great Synthesis, allowing the deck to reach its disruptive and explosive chapters more quickly. Tempo Preservation. Because it is an instant speed counterspell, it fits naturally into a cantrip control shell that prefers to hold mana open and advance its game plan only when interaction is not required. Omniscience. Plan Redundancy. Omniscience mirrors the Saga's third chapter by allowing free casting from hand, giving the deck a second route to convert a carefully sculpted hand into overwhelming advantage. Hand Capital. A Jin-Gitaxias deck is designed to accumulate a large hand through card selection, draw engines, and Saga Chapter 1, which makes Omniscience especially effective because it rewards stockpiled resources rather than raw mana. Closure Speed. Once Omniscience resolves, the deck can pivot immediately from reactive control into a decisive finishing turn by chaining the same cantrips, interaction, and payoff spells you have been preserving in hand. Thrummingbird. Saga Growth. Thrummingbird advances the Great Synthesis by proliferating lore counters after combat damage, allowing the Saga to reach its stronger chapters ahead of schedule. Low Cost Pressure. Its inexpensive cost lets the deck establish an early evasive threat, while still preserving mana for cantrips and control interaction. Counter Utility. Its proliferate trigger adds value to a spell-dense control shell by converting successful attacks into additional counter-based progression, without requiring extra cards from hand. Post your commander on the comments section below, and we will create a video like this for you. Thank you for watching.